Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Reema Shaheen, and I'm serving as an e-learning specialist here at the e-learning center. This session is conducted by the e-learning center. The topic of today's session is personalized learning at scale, adaptive strategies for diverse classroom. In simple words, we will talk about how we can teach every student in a way that suits them best, even when we have a large class with many different types of learners. Before we begin, I would like to request everyone to keep open mind. Feel free to think, reflect, and share your thoughts as we move through this session. And let's get started. As you can see on our screen, today we focus is on the adaptive strategies of diverse classroom. Every classroom today has students who learn in a different ways. Some learn quickly, some needs more time, some needs to read, some needs to watch, some learn better through the practice. So the big question is, how can one teacher help every single student in the best way? That is what we are going to explore today. Let's start with the very clear introduction. For the topic, for many years, education has followed what we call one size fits all approaches. This means the same lesson, the same pace, the same activities for every student in the class. Even nowadays, we are practicing these kind of things. But today, we are here to explore the new ways how we can change this traditional way of teaching and way of studying as well. But the problem is that the students are not the same. They come with a different backgrounds, different skills, different speed of learning. When we use the same method for everyone, some students get left behind. Some feels bored, and because the lesson is too easy for them. This is where personalized learning comes in. It is a way of teaching that change the content, the pace, and the even way we check learning based on what each student needs. Now you may be thinking how it's possible to give a personal attention to every student, especially when we have a big class, a lot of work. So the good news is that with the help of the technology, this has become much easier. Adaptive technology make personalization possible even in a large classroom. The system uses simple data and the real-time feedback to understand how a student is doing. If a student is struggling, the system gives extra support. If a student is doing well, the system gives more challenging tasks. So the teachers still play the main role, but the technology helps the teacher to reach every student more easily. For this purpose, the goal of the personalized learning is very clear. We want to improve the three main things: inclusivity, engagement, and the outcomes. Inclusivity means that every student, no matter their background, their ability, they are just included or supported in the classroom. Engagement means students stay interested and active in the class for the lesson. Two, they do not feel the bored or lost. And outcome means that the final result, we want better performance, better understanding, and the real success of our students. When we put these three together, we create a learning environment where every student has a fair chance to do well. So, the learning objectives of today's session is, before we move further, let me share with you what we'll gain from this session. By the end of this session, you will be able to following first. You will be understand what adaptive and personalized learning really means in a simple way. Second, you will explore the some practical strategies that you can use to bring the personalization into your own classroom, even it is a large one. And the third one is you will be learn about some useful tools like frameworks and the platforms that can support you in this journey. And finally, you will also become aware of challenges that can come along the way and what the future may look like in this area. So please keep these 4 points in your mind as we go through the session. What is personalized learning? The first question comes in our everyone's mind. So let us now go a little deeper. What exactly the personalized learning? The first key idea is that the learners progress in their own pace. In a traditional classroom, the whole classroom moves together whether you are ready or not. The lesson moves on, but in a personalized setting, the changes um, totally it's change. Student who need more time can take more time. Students who ready to move ahead can do or without waiting. This way faster learning can move ahead without feeling held back, and those who need extra support get enough time to build a strong foundation. The result is that we reduce the frustration in the class and we improve the real understanding of the topic. The second important idea is that the content itself adapts. It changes based on the strength, the weaknesses, and the preference of the each learner. For example, if a student is strong in one area, the system can give them harder questions or new topics. If the student is weak in something, the system can give them a more practice on that part. Also, the content can match how the student like to learn, and some learners prefer visual content like the videos and images, some like audios explanations, other may prefer the reading or doing the hands-on activities. Personalized learning respects all these styles so every student feels comfortable and supported. So, when we put everything together, the personalized learning gives us three big benefits. Number one is flexibility. The lesson, the pace, the path can change the based on what the student needs. There is no fixed rules for everyone. Number two is the engagement. When the content matches the student's level and interest, they pay more attention and stay involved with the class. Number three is the inclusivity. Every learner, include those with the different abilities, different cultures, and the different backgrounds, find a place where they can learn and grow. These three together makes personalized learning so powerful for today's classroom. Now the question is, why adaptive learning? Why we do need it? Now let's look at why adaptive learning is so important. I want to share four simple reasons with you. The reasons is diverse needs. Every student has a unique pace and a unique style of learning. Adaptive learning shapes the learning path for each one of them. It does not force them all to follow the same line. The second reason is data driven outcomes. With adaptive learning, we get continuous information about how students are doing, the help of the teacher make better decisions, but what to teach next and what to and how to teach it. The third reason is closing the gap. Sometimes a student misses a small concept early on, and this gap grows bigger over the time. Adaptive learning help us find these gaps quickly and fix them before they become a big problem. And the fourth reason is the student ownership. When students see their own progress and choose their own path, they start to take responsibility for their learning. They feel more confident and more motivated. So here you can see the same 4 points in a visual way. Let us go through them once more for clarity. First, the large classroom with the diversity. Adaptive learning help us manage the classroom where students are very different from each other. It supported every student even when the class is big. The second is the data-driven instruction. The system collects performance data, look at the trends, and help the teachers plan and teach in a more effective way. The third one is the closing the learning gap. The system finds where the teacher student is struggling. It then gives them the right kind of the practice to fix that weak area. And the fourth one is the student ownership. Students can see their own progress in a dashboards in a personalized path. This makes them aware, responsible, and more interested to their own success. Here I'm going to show you one quick demo, which is really related to by the macro. So we will learn about that. Going towards just forward, I just want to share a demo which is a macro hill, and this video will show the adaptive learning in action. As you will watch that, and you will need to be notice some of the things. Firstly, I want to run up this demo, then we will discuss the points on it.
McGraw-Hill presents what we mean when we say adaptive learning. Adaptive learning describes the process in which the learning path responds to the student's performance and adjusts to help facilitate learning in real time. Adaptive learning holds the potential to give every learner their own personalized learning path, customized and fine-tuned for his or her own unique strengths, weaknesses, goals, and learning style. With every action taken, the curriculum responds to keep the learner actively engaged in a way that is optimal for that individual student. While the general principles underlying adaptive learning are not new, it is the advancements in technology that have made adaptive learning scalable. By providing a rich level of data on every individual learner, a teacher is now able to more fully know how close each student is to showing evidence of proficiency. Utilizing technology-driven personalization, adaptive learning holds the potential to fully extend the benefits of one-on-one instruction to every student in the classroom.
So as you watch, please notice a few things. First, how the system creates a personalized learning path. Second, notice how it highlights the student's progress. And third is the observe how it gives support when needed and how it helps the teachers make data-driven decisions. So these are the things that we need to be focused on, that the adaptive learning path, the highlight personalized student progress, and also demonstrate the real-time feedback and support, and the support data driven teachers teaching decisions. So I hope the video gives you a clear picture of how adaptive learning works in a real practice. So now let us look at the framework that makes. So now we have a clear idea about the adaptive learning work in a real practice. So let us look at the framework that makes all this possible. Adaptive learning work in a cycle of 4 steps. Step one is the data collection. The system gather information about how the student is learning, what they are getting right, and where they are facing difficulty. Step two is analysis. The system studies this data and finds pattern. For example, it can see if the student keeps making the same kind of mistake. The step three is adaptation. Based on analysis, the system changes the content and the difficulty and the activities to better match the student's need. And the step four is the feedback loop. The student gets feedback, the teacher gets feedback, and the cycle starts again. This continuous loop is what makes adaptive learning so effective. So, Now we have enough information about the concept of adaptive learning, personalized learning, what actually it is, how it's create a framework, what is the actually flow of it. Now comes and talk about some practical strategies that you can apply in your own classroom. The main core part of this session. The first strategy is differentiate instructions. This means we just adjust the lesson to match the different learning styles. We can use the digital tools to give visual content to the some and the audio content to others and the reading material to the who's just those who just prefer it. The second strategy is formative assessment. This means checking student progress in a real time, not only at the end. Small quizzes, short polls, and quick activities help us to see who is learning well and who needs more support. Based on this, we can adjust our teaching right away. The third strategy is blended learning. This means we combine classroom teaching with online learning. The student get the best of both worlds. They have the support of a teacher and they also have flexibility of online tools. And the fourth one, that strategy is the peer assisted learning. Here we form group where students help each other. When the students work together, they learn from each other students strengths, group work, and also build the confidence and teamwork skills. And the fifth strategy is micro learning. Okay, here I have one question. Anyone of you know about the micro learning? What does mean of the micro learning? Anyone wants to answer me for this question? Or any of these five steps you perform already in your classrooms with your students, or already you have experienced these five steps or not? You can answer me in a chat box. Okay, no problem. If you didn't practice these kind of strategies, but we are here to give you awareness, but it's your responsibility to take the awareness, take the knowledge to convert into just useful outcomes. Just attending a session is not just not just the actually the motive. The motive is to gain knowledge and then convert it into a practical form. Okay, micro learning is basically the fifth strategy. That means we break the lesson into a small and focused parts instead of one long session. We give students a short modules. This keeps them engaged and it is easier for them to remember the content. Okay, now let's move towards look some tools and platform that can support the personalized learning. The first category is LMS add-ons. LMS means the learning management system like the Canvas or a Blackboard. Yes, you are much familiar with the Blackboard. Blackboard is a learning management system which you are using in a design university since many years. You are using for the classes, for assessments, for discussions, for grading, for exams somehow, for discussion boards are there, and some visual classes are there. So you have a much interactivity between the Blackboard and you. And if you don't know about it, it's okay. We are here to give you a detail about it. You can use the LMS systems to perform the adaptive learning or create a personalized learning as well. These add-ons are extra features that work inside the LMS and give us useful analytics and reports. The main perspective of the adaptive learning or a personalized learning is actually to monitor a student's activity. How we should monitor the students, that how they perform, how they actually behave on their behavior, on their learning activities or learning responses. We can judge that which is actually the good path for them to make them more engaged, make them more active, create some interactivity, and we just find these all things by the analytics and the reports with these tools. So we can track how students are progressing, how engaged they are, how much of the course they have completed, and how they are doing in assessments. All this information help us as instructor to make smart database decisions. We can quickly see who is doing the well and who need extra support. We can plan our next step accordingly. So here's some of the features which are adaptive features in the Blackboard Learn Ultra. You are already using the Blackboard Learn Ultra. I want to highlight that features which you can explore more to make your classroom or a student more engaged with your study. That here on this slide, you can see some adaptive features that are currently used in the support teaching and the learning at Design University through the Blackboard Learn Ultra. First, we have release condition. This feature let us show content based on performance and completion. For example, the next topic opens only when the student finished the previous one. And the second one is the learning modules. These help us guide students step by step through the course content in a clear and organized way. The third one is the progress tracking. This feature shows the completion status and how much the student has done so far. Both the teachers and the students can see this easily. The fourth is the knowledge check and assessments. These help us build a quick quizzes and continuous assessments so we always know how the students are doing. The fifth one is the AI design assistant. The feature can help us generate learning materials, ideas, and even the course content, making our work as instructor much easier. So I hope you using the AI assistant, AI design assistant in your journey of creating the courses, creating the learning modules, or even the creating the assessment or quizzes, or even the discussion in Blackboard. We do have a feature of AI assistant which can help you to generate all of these things by according to your instructions. So next, I have one demo for analytics and reports, that how we can find the analytics and reports from the Blackboard, and how we can analyze the data related to the students and how we can improve it in our study style, in our course design, in our how we can give our students a different pathways to improve their engagement and also the outcomes as well. So let's have a look at that.
Instructors take pride in seeing their students succeed, but also feel their pain when they fall behind. Blackboard is working to increase the visibility of student performance, so instructors are aware of the students who need more attention and can take action before it's too late. Student performance is most recognizable during grading opportunities and is also reflected in a student's overall grade. But often, it's too late to have an impact.
This one is the first way that how you can judge them by the grading, that grading in an assessment or in a test or any kind of discussion. You can see that they're actually how they perform it. So this is the first type of checking how the students are performing.
By the time grades are posted, Blackboard makes it easy to monitor the progress of your students and their assessments. On any assessment, instructors can open the activity panel to see which students have submitted, which ones have only started.
So you can see the progress of the students, which just open up, which is not completed yet, which is in between this assessment, and how long it takes to complete. So this is all the analytics. You need to be focused on it to improve the students' learning.
Which students might be falling behind. And if you need to, it's easy to send those students a message. While current activity can help instructors identify problems with specific grading opportunities, it doesn't help them get ahead of potential problems. That's why we've integrated predictive analytics right into the classroom. At any moment, instructors can find out which students are performing well and which students are at risk. Blackboard's predictive analytics allow you to view the risk profile of a particular student, taking into account their grading performance and classroom activity compared to their classmates.
So you can see that here is the different kind of the activities of the assessment and the class activities and anything which are connected with the Blackboard. You can see the performance of the students who are performing well, who are not performing well. You can also see the comparison with between the students as well.
So you can spot potential issues before they turn into insurmountable problems. And because the workflows are integrated, faculty can arrange to meet one-on-one with a student either in person or via their Collaborate room. At Blackboard, we know that faculty feel personally responsible for the outcome of their students. That's why we're giving them the tools to identify problems and intervene before it's too late.
So this is about the Blackboard, which you are already using, and we do have all these features. If you didn't use it, you have to explore and see that how you can implement more in your daily activities. If even it's not necessary you are putting a complete course on a Blackboard, you just put it one assessment on a Blackboard, and you get analysis of the students very quickly. So now moves toward the adaptive tools. The second category is adaptive tools. These are special platform made for the personalized learning. The three examples on the screen are the Smart Sparrow, the Newton, and the Dreambox. That is, Smart Sparrow allows instructors to design the adaptive and interactive lesson. The content responds to what the student does, and the Newton and the Dreambox go a step further. They adjust the lesson in a real time based on how the student is performing. Those tools are very useful when we have a large mixed classroom, because they can serve each student individually, and even when the class size is very big. The open source options, the tools and platforms, the third category is open source options. These are free and community supported tools that work very well with the LMS platforms. The two examples here are the H5P and the Moodle plugin. H5P offers the interactive content like the quizzes, the simple games, drag and drop activities. It makes the learning fun and active. And the Moodle plugin can add adaptive features, assessments, analytics to your LMS at a very low cost. And there are a great choice for institutions that don't want to start a personalized learning but have a limited budget. So you can begin the small or grow step by step. And the next one is the fourth one is AI powered solutions. The fourth category is AI powered solutions. These tools are artificial intelligence to personalize learning on a very large scale. The two examples here are the Coursera Adaptive Path and the Khan Academy. Coursera adjusts its course based on their learner's progress and skill gap it identifies. And the Khan Academy uses what we call mastery learning. It recommends specific exercises and tracks the progress of each student until they truly understand the topic. These platforms give automatic insights, adaptive challenges, and the personalized feedback. So even with the thousands of the students on the same platform, every learner gets their own learning experiences. So let's have a look at how AI can help us to get adaptive learning or personalized learning paths. Here I have a complete demonstration about the AI can help us to be generating the new learning paths, the adaptive learning paths for the students. Student by themselves, they can also adopt these kind of things to make their learning more better. So let's have a look.
Imagine a classroom tailored to the needs of every individual student. Wouldn't that be revolutionary? Picture AI technology acting as a smart personal tutor, adapting to each learner's unique style. This isn't science fiction, it's AI adaptive learning. AI adaptive learning is akin to a music streaming service that knows your taste and continually adapts the playlist to suit your mood and preferences. AI adaptive learning is like a GPS, guiding each student on their unique learning journey. It's not just about right or wrong answers anymore, it's about targeted, effective learning. Now, you might wonder, how does this AI adaptive learning work? Well, imagine a maestro who knows every note you need to master your symphony. AI adaptive learning is that maestro. It starts by analyzing student responses, meticulously examining the patterns, the strengths, and the areas that need refinement. Then, it dynamically adjusts the course content for individual learners, creating a unique pathway for each. Its focus is on detailed and targeted learning, concentrating on improving specific areas rather than simply validating answers. Let's take a look at real-world examples. In college math, there's Alex, an AI system that identifies learning gaps for targeted instruction. Language learners may have encountered Duolingo's AI, which customizes lessons based on individual progress. And Dreambox, a K-12 math program.
So these are the different platforms which are already using in a different institutions to perform a different task to creating the personalized learning by the AI.
Imagine a classroom tailored to the needs of every symphony. AI, it's rather than simply language learners make engagement and performance. It's about targeted learning that fits each student like the perfect pair of jeans, leading to smarter and faster learning. While the benefits are clear, we must also address the challenges. AI adaptive learning, like any pioneering technology, faces hurdles. The foremost among these is the tech divide. Not every learner has equal access to the technology needed for AI learning. This discrepancy can lead to a widening gap in educational opportunities. Moreover, there is a fear that AI might replace teachers. But let's be clear, AI is not here to take over the classroom. The role of teachers remains irreplaceable.
Yes, the role of teachers remain irreplaceable because technology is add-on for the teachers, not a removal of the teachers. It's never happened. But even if the teachers or educators not adopt the technology, can be replaceable maybe because who have the efficiency to deal with the technology. So artificial intelligence is just not to replace any kind of category or any kind of profession. It's just replace the person who didn't adopt it. So adoption of a new technology is necessary or necessary because it's very important. It's trendy time and it's not a future, it's now actually present. It's already involved in every kind of any field of life. You can see it's AI is involved already, even from the small kid to the adult one, or the teachers, or in education, in medical, in industry, everywhere artificial intelligence already have their own name and words. So now we understand what actually this technology is and how we need to be make a good handshake with this technology and use it for our growth, for our students growth, even for our kids growth. This is a very important part to learn first and then handle this technology. Very responsibility, it's a big responsibility for the educators as well to use the technology ethically, and how we can just have a benefit from these technology rather than just avoid it, and then yes, of course, it will be replaced.
They bring empathy, experience, and a human touch that AI can't replicate. The aim of AI is to enhance teaching, not replace it. So how do we navigate these challenges? It's about advocacy and action. We need to champion equitable access to technology, ensuring that AI learning isn't a privilege, but a right for all. The goal is inclusive, effective, and engaging education for all. We need to advocate for equitable tech access and bring AI learning to more classrooms. Now it's time to hear from you.
So now it's time to hear from you that you must agree to adapt that new technology. We are here. The motive of us is to just not sharing these kind of the slides or these kind of the content. We are here to give you awareness about what actually the technology is. The e-learning center is aiming to spread the awareness with the practical strategies, how the new technology is involved in the education system, how the educators can adapt it, and how they can use in their daily life tasks, make their tasks more easier, easy. It's not to make your task more complicated. It's you just need to explore. You need to be add in your daily life learning, even your own learning routines. Even for the students, adopt you can adopt and you can implement in their classrooms and all these things. So it will help you to spread a new trend, and also you will get the good outcomes as well. Okay, now let's move toward some of the case studies example. That's the first one, that is related to the adaptive quizzes. Let's now look at the real case example to make this even more clear. How a university decided to introduce adaptive quizzes powered by AI. There were not normal quizzes. The system would automatically change the difficulty and the type of the question based on how each student was performing. If the student was weak in a topic, the system will give them more practice questions in that area. And if the student was strong in a topic, the system would give them more advanced and challenging questions. So average students was getting a personal assessments and personal practice from the same platform. So the next one is related to the results, and the results are very encouraging, and the university saw a 20% improvement in the retention and engagement. More students were completing their courses. Learners felt more motivated because the courses were not too easy and not too hard. They were just right for their level and pace, and also the dropout rate went down. Students stayed active in course, and they kept coming back because they felt the system understood them. This show us that adaptive learning is not just a good idea, it's actually bring a real measurable results as well. So let's move towards to know about the reference. Reference is, I'm going to just this case example is supported by the Educause 2024 survey on adaptive learning adoption. This is a well-known organization that study the use of technology in the higher education. Their survey clearly shows that the more students complete their course when adaptive learning was used, learning felt more motivated because the quizzes matched their level and their pace, and the adaptive approach reduced dropout rates and they kept students actively engaged. So this is not only theory, this is a research based and is supported by the real data from the universities. So now let's have a look towards some of the challenges and the solutions. It's not possible that anything we are going to implement and have no challenges. No, there is possibility of a good, and the same pays the possibility of the bad and challenging things as well. So the first challenge, system is perfect, and adaptive learning also come with the some challenges. Let us talk about three common one and how we can handle them. The first challenge is the high implementation cost. Okay, some adaptive tools and the platforms are expensive, of course. The solutions here is to start small, and we can begin with pilot projects using free or open source tools like H5P or Moodle plugins. Once we see results, we can slowly grow and invest more. This tip is for the institutions. Okay, the second challenge is teacher training. Many teachers are not fully comfortable with these new tools. The solution is to provide professional development workshop and ongoing support. What we actually right now doing, we are giving you a professional, practical support with theory, with practical vision, and giving you an opportunity to explore these things and giving you opportunity to knowledgeable things, and actually which is actually your need. We bring in front of you that one whose teachers feel more confident and then use these tools more effectively in their classrooms, of course. So the third challenge is data privacy concerns. Since these tools collect data about the students, we must protect this information. This solution is use secure LMS platform and apply just techniques, some of the techniques for the student data stay safe and private all the time. So yes, there are some challenges, but for every challenge there is a clear and practical solution as well. Like we do have a secure LMS system, which is a Blackboard we are already using, so we can also omit this challenge, that we already have a one secured and top of the list LMS system, so we do not have these kind of issues. So now let's move towards know about some of the future's personalized learning scenarios. Okay, let us look ahead and talk about the future of the personalized learning. There are some exciting trends coming our way, like the first AI-driven tutors and chatbots. These can support the learners 24 hours a day, 7 day a week. They give instant answers and personalized guidance, and even when the teacher is not online. These kind of examples you already maybe now you already saw in your daily lives. There's a lot of chatbots, there is a lot of different companies are adopting the AI assistants who can serve you according to your choice. Even you are using in an educational area, or even you are using in a commercial area, you saw a different kind of the chatbots who give you information according to your choice. Okay, the second one is predictive analytics. The system can look at different data and predict who may struggle in the future. This helps us to early support before the students fall behind. Third one is the AR and VR, the augmented reality and virtual reality learning paths. The augmented reality, AR stand for the augmented reality, and the VR stand for the virtual reality. So these technology can create hand-ons, real-life learning experiences. They are very useful in field like medicine, engineering, science. And fourth is the universal design and accessibility. The future will focus more and more on inclusive design. This means our courses, materials, and platforms must be easy to use for everyone, including the students with the different abilities. So the future is full of opportunities. As an educator, faculty member, institution head, we need to stay ready and open to these changes. So let me wrap up the key takeaways what we had in this session. So let us bring everything together with some key takeaways from today's session. That is, the first one is adaptive learning brings personalized at scale. We can give personalized touch even a large classroom. And the second, technology help us create learning paths for diverse classroom. It support every type of learner. And the third one is continuous data and feedback are very important. They guide us to keep the improving our teaching. The fourth one is the start small and then expand. We do not need to change everything at once. A small step-by-step approach is more sustainable and more successful. The fifth one is that teacher training is essential, which we are struggling a lot to do this. Now it's turned towards the teachers that how they can perform and how they can take this knowledge into a practical world. So finally, the inclusivity and accessibility must remain at the center of our design. Every student deserves a fair chance to learn and to be succeed. So you have to keep all these points in your mind. You have to explore all these points and how you can use in your classroom. Now it's your turn that how you will be able to turn this information into a proper knowledge. So we should conclude it by one saying that before we close, I would like to share with you a beautiful quote that is every student can learn, just not on the same day or not in the same way. So it's a very powerful saying. So it's remind us to one simple truth that every single student in front of us has ability to learn. They just may not learn at the same time or in the same way as others, but it's perfectly okay. So as educator, our role to find the right way and the right time for each learner. When we do that, we open the door to the real success for every student in our classroom. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with me. And now we are comes into end of this session. If you want me to repeat anything, you want to ask any question, you want to share any of your experience with me, you are um, openly welcome. You can share your thoughts, you can share your experiences, and even you can share your challenges facing by using the any kind of the tool, by using any kind of the AI tool. You can share with me. Ask me any question related to this session, or you can ask me any already you are using any tool and having some challenges, you can share with me. It's a reminder, please, you need to register your session by the just log in by the my JU, and there in a training area you can just select this training and you just register, then you will be able to get their certification.